Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Across the Lawn. Today I'm with Jay Yang, the director for the Institute of Informatics and Applied Technology, and we'll be asking some questions.
Great.
So first, Jay, can you tell us about how you got started in technology?
I did my PhD in UT Austin, and it's really about math, actually. Mathematical modeling of how we kind of measure the dynamics on the internet. And then from there, I work in the cybersecurity area. I work on AI, machine learning. All of these are mathematical foundation, algorithm development on trying to solve problems.
Yeah, and can you tell us about your role at Gonzaga?
So I'm the Rising Hour Family Director for the Institute for Informatics and Applied Technology. And I was recruited by Gonzaga about 2 years ago, just short of 2 years ago, to lead this new institute, defining the vision, the mission, and how this will run, and then what's the goal. And I have defined it in a way that it's not just about technology, it's about how we can responsibly, purposefully using technology, particularly AI technologies today, and how to infuse that into curriculum across disciplines, humanities, business, law school, health science, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and how would you describe AI?
So, artificial intelligence, right? So, AI is really not intelligence, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The current AI is really generative AI based on a language model. It's really how we humans use languages. So the thought about is like we have this conversation right now.
Yeah.
And it's not meant for accuracy. A lot of people say that, oh, it's hallucinating, it's other thing. But our human language is not meant to be accurate. You ask me a question, 5 minutes later, I will not answer exactly the same way it is. This is different from other AI systems. Think about vision model. That's a tree, that's grass, right? We need to be very accurate on that because I don't want to run into the tree. But language is not meant for accuracy. So artificial intelligence today, people are talking about is really the language-based generative AI. And that's a language model kind of mimicking how we use languages.
Okay. Yeah, and can you tell us about maybe the upsides and downsides of AI right now?
So, first of all, I'll step back a few years, right? Before the language model become really so popular, the other models, including the vision model, expert systems, those kind of systems. There's always a concern about biases, data used for training. The artificial intelligence has a common theme that's trained with data. So the language model, the recent language model, is also trained with data, mostly from the internet. So how we use languages is how it will show up, right? So biases, those elements are for sure. But today, I think that one of my biggest concern, not a lot of people are talking about, is that how human may be misusing these generative AI technologies, right? The power of language is that it can describe, it can synthesize, it can generate, it can create knowledge. Right? Think about how you can describe this law, describing the tree. That is a power. But if you misuse that power, you could be trying to create fake stuff that will be hurting other people, right? It can hurt the environment for sure. Not properly using, you maybe consume too much token, too many token. Token is like a unit to talk about how much usage. You could be misusing it inappropriately. So I think my biggest concern is inappropriate use of this technology. Not the technology itself, is a human misusing it.
Yeah, and can you tell us about how AI looking into the future is going to drive the STEM field specifically?
So I actually do not think it's driving the STEM field. I think it's driving the humanities, driving the business operation, driving education. I'll say education, I'll come back to that. Driving law, driving everything that human society is doing. It's not just driving the STEM field. STEM field, however, has a responsibility, right? Has a responsibility to say, how do we develop this technology, further advance the technology in a responsible way, try to cut down the usage, cut down its hurt to the environment, and how to make sure that we give you guardrails. So let's say you are going to do a query. How that query can escalate to you? Are you sure you're going to do this? This is going to kind of cause this much of carbon footprint. And this is going to look into some kind of data you may not want to touch, right? Can we do that kind of technology on a STEM field?
Yeah.
But for other fields, I think it's very important for us to understand how to purposefully, responsibly use this technology for our work, for our life.
Yeah, and can you tell us maybe some advice you would give to current students who are using AI?
Right, so first of all, the chatbot was never designed to be a learning and education system. It was never. somehow we're using for that purpose, whether student or faculty or teachers, right? Doesn't matter. So that's a misconception, right? The notion of equating the use of AI to cheating, it was not meant for that. I think that the way to think about it should be, how can you address my blind side, right? So I was using this example to my daughter the other day, that I was using, I don't use Gen AI that much, but I try to create infographics based on like 30 PowerPoint slides I've generated the past 2 years. And what I'm looking for is that, would I miss anything, right?
Yeah.
So generally speaking, the AI is going to create infographics that show the overall trend. But I'm looking for, would I be missing something that I forgot about that was from 18 months ago or 7 months ago? I didn't remember, right? So I think the proper use of AI is not for it to do the simple things for you, is to address the blind side, address the things that you might miss, right? The other thing to use for student particularly, I think, is brainstorming, is think about different modality of learning. Some student will say, I would love to create this kind of podcast based on materials I want to learn. I want to interact with a podcast. So they have someone to kind of sounding board, like, how do I do this? How to learn that? Give me a challenging question. I want to look at this problem from a different angle. So because the AI can generate, it allows to give different modality, different ways to treat the same problem. Those can help students to see the same thing from different angles. Those will be very helpful, and a single teacher may or may not be able to do that for 30 students.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
My name's Colin Brennan, and thank you for joining us on another episode of Across the Lawn.